Hi, my name is LaQuan Smith, women's wear designer based in New York.
Hi, my name is Akia Shabaka, one half of mother-daughter design duo House of Aama, and we are based in Los Angeles, California.
Hi, I'm House of Aama, Rebecca Henry, designer. Okay, so my reaction when I met Mr. Smith and found out that he was in this class was really one of awe and being pleasantly surprised, because I've been following your brand, Mr. Smith, and so I've been following the breadth of it and the outreach of it, and I felt that there were things, honestly, that I could learn from you in this class, and so I was really pleased to be in a class where I felt like I could be a mentee and have mentors among the other designers.
Yeah, I was really interested in connecting with the other designers. It was the most important part of the process for us, because you can learn so much from all of the people in the industry, but to actually experience someone and see how they've been able to do it and hear their experience and hear who they've worked with and what's working or not working, is more valuable to an emerging brand. So yeah, I've been a fan. I actually went to one of your shows like a couple years ago, and I was still a student at Parsons, and cool. I went. So it was just really interesting, and I just was pleasantly surprised and also just happy to be in this class with everyone, because I've admired all of the designers.
I agree. I think my initial reaction, I didn't know what to feel. I was excited. I felt relieved in a way. I had been trying for so many years to be a part of the CFDA, and just really trying to grow my business, and I've been in business for 10 years. There's so many different just levels where in terms of success and how you grow. And at one point I became a little bit more full transparency. I was like, F it, maybe I don't need CFDA, because my entire career has been unorthodox. Everything that I've done, I didn't go to school. So everything has been sort of just like very untraditional. I'm going to do it my own way. I'm going to do it, the way that I want. And so when I won, or when I became a part of the program, I was really excited. And I got on my knees and I prayed and I thank God. And I really look at it from, you call me the big dog, but really I feel like, life is school, and I'm a firm believer in like slow and steady wins the race. Yeah. So I'm not here it's not a competition in any way. I mean, when we're on those Zoom calls and we're talking about all of the different aspects of our business, it's inspiring, because we all need mentorship, we all need help, we all want to, succeed in some way. But I think that it's really great to hear in the many different ways that we all need help. We all don't need the same things, and so for me, it's sort of like it's not just like one ingredient on how to be successful. Everybody can be successful in their own way. I really admire that about everyone in the group, and the way that they have. Built their business.
Yeah. I think everyone in this group has been very innovative too. Like you said, there's so many different ways that we've gotten to where we're at now, and now we're collectively having this experience, but we're still coming up with more innovative ways that are going to be so different from each other on how to scale. And so it just brings a conversation to fashion that there's not a one-way street. There's never been.
And I think that this program is great because so many people ask me well, I'm a student or I have my line, how do I get started? There's so many questions, and I think that having, just a team of people who can really help and nurture us and how to become the successful, Tom Fords and Oscar de la Renta's and these household brands. It's like we need that, because a lot of times it felt like, for me, I can only speak from truth. If you don't go to school, if you don't come from money, it's like what's that entry point? How do I start my business? Or what's the steps that I take to basically have a proper functional business? That information is really not out there.
No.
So it's like having people, having CFDA and that level of support, it's so important, because, you talk about the innovation, and there's so many creative people out there that truly need help in business, I just want to create. I don't want to talk about finances and marketing and all of that, but the reality is that we need that, know, and so I think having a soundboard and being transparent and honest and open about, ways that we want to grow and ways that we are, how we are succeeded, and also the gray areas in the business. We have to be really honest with ourselves and really, figure it out, because this is a dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this has been a tough road.
I'm definitely thankful that everyone that I've experienced in this program, we've all been so transparent, so honest.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, that is just, I can't stress it enough, what I was looking for, because sometimes in this experience you feel so alone and you feel like no one else is going through it, or like, you know, so just hearing the words that come out from everyone else, like, no, this is actually what I'm going through. This is how the show went. This is, you know, I'm going through market and it's stressful. Like, those things are just refreshing. So.
For me specifically, I wouldn't say anyone from the program, but I mean, I think the best piece of advice was from Andre Leon Talley. He tells me that, you know, you are an unapologetically black man who's designing very sexy clothing, you know, and not everyone is going to be into that. But the way that he reinforces it and makes me feel confident about what I'm doing, that really stuck with me, and it stuck with me for a very long time, because, you know, back in the day when I was doing pencil skirts, you know, with no linings, you know, the buyers were like, "Where's the linings?" You know, and then I saw my same designs get knocked off by bigger brands in Europe and in Paris, and you know, it was just conflicting. You know, so when you talk about like being unapologetic and staying true to your identity as a creative, that's something that is like, it's just innate. You just have to follow that gut, because as a young creative, you're so impressionable, and everyone's telling you what to do and how to do it, that you can sometimes like not have an identity. So I think the best piece of advice was from Andre, you know, basically saying like, be unapologetic, like be black, you know, be glamour, be fashion, be New York, you know, luxury. Like, you know, he really understands like what I am trying to portray, you know, and so I think that was sort of the best piece of advice for me, was to just be, you know, unapologetically me, create what I want, and I've done that, and it just feels like a breath of fresh air. So
I agree, and I think that when we had our initial meeting with Aurora James, she said something very similar. She said that initially people didn't understand why she had feathers on shoes and this, that, and the other, and she just stayed true to who she was and what her brand identity was, and she's been very successful with that. And I think with us as well, sometimes maybe people don't understand the aesthetic, maybe they don't really understand the storytelling. It's very rooted in the black experience, and we're not going to shift away from that. I mean, that's who we are. We feel that that is our mission in life. We're folklorists, to bring these stories to life through textiles. And so I think that you can achieve a level of success, and you're more successful when you're true to who you are and you're putting that out in the world, as opposed to trying to chase somebody else's dream. We're interested in chasing our own dreams and putting that out. And for the people that can understand it, great. For the people that can't understand it, well, maybe there's somebody else for them.
Yeah. I think for us, like our mentor, Sherry McMullen, really, she's been very helpful for us, because she identified early on when we met that there was going to be a lot of, you know, moving from like direct to consumer, more of like an indie emerging brand, to now like being on more of these larger platforms. She emphasized there was going to be a lot of people coming our way, a lot of buyers, a lot of people interest and stuff. And so, you know, really emphasizing how you have to filter through and figure out who are the best partners for you and what makes the best sense for where you're at, and how can you also, you know, handle the big dogs, but also remember your niche, remember the boutiques, remember these different people and relationships that you have. And I think that that's been important for us, because we've been very slow and steady meets the race, and now getting to this point, I think there's always an emphasis to just like rise and just like scale so fast, and you know, that's how a lot of times people crash and burn. So you know, we understand that our pace brought us here, and we want to continue to move at our pace, and just finding the right partner. So I think when she has been emphasizing that and seeing who's been coming at us and really emphasizing to, you know, say maybe not right now, maybe these people are better, you know, that's been really helpful for us, I think.
I can't remember my first designer splurge. But I will say though that I'm very adamant on wearing LaQuan Smith. It's the only thing that I
Yes.
like to wear because it's the only thing that fits me. I like to promote myself. I like to wear my clothes. You know, to wear LaQuan Smith is a celebration. So I like to be able to walk in the room and command the room, and this is for anybody. It's a conversational piece. But the one thing as a designer, because I'm really funny about wearing other designers, because I'm like, well, I should be wearing this. And then if I go to Bergdorf or Saks, I'm like, this is a beautiful coat, but I can make this too. You know, it's like I run into those issues. But the one thing that I will say is that I love boots. Like I'm just a boot kind of guy. Like I'm not, you want to go hiking? Sorry, can't go because I don't have sneakers. Like I just love boots. So I'll splurge on some boots, and that's sort of my uniform. It's like boots and like a LaQuan coat, a LaQuan jacket. Like I'm just always about my own aesthetic, but I love boots. I love designer boots.
You had a good answer. So I was like, let me piggyback from that. What I love so much, I mean, we always wear our House of Aama as well. And it's something that I learned young, because when I started making clothes right before we started House of Aama, people would always ask me, well, what are you wearing? And I always wanted to be able to say my stuff. And so what's so exciting as we've been growing and just making more garments for different occasions is that now when I like look at our collections, I'm like, I can wear this during the day, but I can also wear that bodycon dress at night, and I can wear this jumpsuit for running errands. So, you know, just really excited for all of the pieces that we're starting to make. And like you said, you go into a store and you're like, well, I can do that, or I can make it my own variation. And so just
I think that's good. I mean, for me, that's sort of how I built my brand.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have muses or models or, you know, people to be on my arm, you know, in a very Halston kind of way. I didn't have that. So I had to like rock my own collection, you know, and I did it in such a way where I was young, I was thinner, and I would wear these crazy, incredible like cat suits and leggings, and then women would be like, oh my God, like where did you get this? And I'm like, girl, I'm giving you the look, you know, like I'd give it out, and I would promote the collection. I'd promote these leggings that I was making. I was making leggings. They were calling me Leggings Boy in New York City, but I was like, I can do more than that. And I would pass them out to chic women in Manhattan that I just thought were just so fab. And that is sort of how I built the, you know, the collection. I had you know, my business was custom. I built my business off of, you know, custom clothing, custom designing. But it's sort of stuck with me. So that's essentially, it's like I feel guilty, like I'm cheating on myself if I'm like in a full another look, only unless it's Tom Ford. But like anything else, it's fine. You know, it's like I can't do it. You know, but I think it's important to like, you know, you are the walking brand. Like you promote your clothes, you wear your clothes the best, and you talk about it. You know, you got to embody and embrace like what you're promoting. You know, so it's only right if you wear your own collection.
Yeah, that's what we're learning. Like people really. Like the mother-daughter duo, what are you guys wearing? And you know, so now we're like, okay, like House of Aama only, and everything we build we have to be able to wear, because you know people are attracted to it.
We're really the best brand ambassadors ourselves, and I really have told people, when you see me, if I'm not in something that's House of Aama, tell me Victoria Beckham. And the reason why I mention that, because she's always only in her own brand. She's never in something that is not Victoria Beckham. And so I'm conscious of that. I want to be like Victoria Beckham, only in House of Aama.
One piece that I went to bat for our spring-summer collection, Saltwater. So for that collection, we developed a lot of our own textiles and illustrations. That was like our first foray. But one dress that I really knew, and I think because I'm younger, I don't know, but I knew that we needed to do like a power mesh bodycon type of dress. Like I just knew it, and I just knew it would hit like direct to consumer really well. And during the process, it was like the dress was going to happen, then it was not going to happen. It almost didn't make it, and I'm just happy it did, because like right off the runway, we were able to get Gabrielle Union in a dress, and that was like our really one of our good major celebrity hits. So I'm just happy that it ended up working out, and now everyone's that damn dress. So like
that's how it works.
So that was exciting, because that was like a first moment of that, where it's just like I want. We hadn't experienced that, so.
I'm trying to think, but I'm always very passionate about the things that I create. I never well, that's a lie. I'm a Virgo. I second guess everything. But when when I publish it, if I create it, there's been so many things that I've created that the world hasn't seen. You know, I've had so many sketches and so many incredible, like, dope pieces that just came to life because I thought about it at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know. And I don't know, I think what's so fascinating is, like, you know, my team, I have like a lot of, like, the energy in the office in the show. We're young, we're playing music. It's very, like, it's not corporate at all. You know, it's a very, like, relaxed, creative environment. I want your input. I want you to be, you know, and someone's very quiet. I'm like, what are you thinking? You know, like, and there was this one particular fabric that one of my, on my team, they were like, no, LaQuan, this isn't it. And then it ended up being like the #1 selling item. So, I mean, I'm really big on textiles. I'm big on fabrics. I love the manipulations of, like, just fabric. Like, when I go to Premier Vision in Paris, I'm like a kid in a candy store. Like, I just love fabric. So I'm always like, I follow my gut, you know, I follow my gut on, like, what I like. And so, and then it ends up on Kim Kardashian or Beyonce or somebody, you know. It's like, that's sort of like, you gotta follow that. You have to follow that because there's so many opinions on, like, what you know, the fabric trends and the colors, and it's just like, forget all that. Like, focus on what you really, truly feel passionate about, you know. And so I don't think I've run into that kind of issue where, like, someone has like, you know, I don't really like this, but I think, yeah, that's just my only experience with that.